So again, we talking today about our daddy stories. How I grew up in the house with a mechanic. He did go to school and whatnot, but he was also naturally born, just God-given talent to repair cars. I remember one shop he and his brother worked at, a dealership, and the customers only wanted him and my dad to work on their cars. And finally, the GM had to tell him, look, they can't work on all of y'all cars, all right? So I say that to say, thanks, Dad, for one. And to this day, the integrity that I have as far as it comes to, making sure your car is good
Right.
when you're bringing it to our facility, because you do have to have somebody to advocate for you. Uh, because sometimes the technicians, they don't want to do it, or they get lazy, or whatever you want to call it, don't want to do it. I mean, no, this car needs to be done. They came to me, they trust me to get it done, and guess what? We got to get it done. So, in your experience, what would you say, like when you first started driving a car, were there any specific stories that you recall your dad teaching you,
Yes.
telling you?
My dad taught me to drive at 13.
Yeah.
And when he came home one day, I'm sitting out on the porch. I said, Daddy, when are you going to teach me how to drive? Jokingly.
Right.
He said, come on. So I had to back out now. And thank God the neighbor across the street was gone. I would have hit, boom, her car.
Yeah.
And to make matters worse, it was a standard.
Whoa.
Where you, yes, the
Yep.
clutch and the brake, the
Yep.
clutch and the gas. And a funny thing is, I could never get those gears straight. I could never figure them out. So Daddy would shift the gears and he'd tell me clutch, gas, clutch, brake,
Wow.
And then a few months later, he got automatic. So that made life a lot easier on both of us.
Wow.
On both of us. But it was it was a wonderful experience. Him teaching me how to parallel park. He had to go over that a few times.
I bet.
Yeah, because I ran over the flags when I went to go get my license.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Did
so
you get them?
after the third time?
I mean, but after running over the flag, they still gave them to you?
No.
Oh.
They told me, no, you need to practice. So
But you did mess with that flag.
So
I ain't playing.
he set up, an area in the front, and every day after school,
Yeah.
we practiced.
Yeah.
Until I got it.
Right.
So go back the second time, and it was not my fault. It was raining, so they didn't want to,
Right.
chance anything.
They were smart.
Yeah. But third time, I got them.
There you go.
And I was so happy because I accomplished that goal. Plus, it helped him out and my mom out with me being able to drive.
That's true.
So that was a.
We kind of had something similar to
Yeah.
that because a lot of women, y'all, in the 60s and 70s, they just didn't drive.
Exactly.
It was not uncommon for a female not to drive.
Exactly.
And so if you were a driving female, that was a big deal.
Oh yeah.
And you were the it girl, because we don't call Aunt May Burr, we don't call this one, because they could drive. Because our mom, she did not, even until, she died, she never drove a car. So one of my sisters, she and I, we started driving very young.
Okay.
I want to say if she was 13, then that means I was 12.
Okay.
And we would go the back ways for my mom to go get whatever she needed at the time from the stores. And that's how we drive. That's how we learned. And we did go to driver's ed, though.
Oh yeah.
We did take driver's ed in
I took
school.
driver's ed.
So glad, because we were all, I'm sure the teacher was like, okay, this little kid been driving already. Now she knows too much, because you could tell, like, on some of the other people, you know how they had that brake on that side of the driver's
Right.
ed car?
Right.
And going on, yeah. They would use that thing. But I remember one of my stories with a stick. And I taught myself kinda, because Dad would be yelling and going on. I couldn't get it. So I remember I had another car, and I bought this car. It's a Volkswagen, never will forget it. And every day after work, y'all, I would come home and I'd practice. Well, I ran out of gas.
Oh my.
But I didn't know it. It was like it started running. I didn't get stuck anywhere, thank God. I was
Right.
I was just going around in the corner, around the neighborhood, in the neighborhood. And so, and he knew what it was. There's something wrong with my car. And he comes outside and this, that, and the other. Well, the gas tank, the Volkswagen, the engine was in the back.
In the back, right?
So
yes,
he
I
put a
remember.
stick in there, y'all. That thing was dry as a bone.
Oh no.
And that's all what was wrong with it. I ran out of gas. But guess what? I never ran out of gas again in life. I hated that feeling.
Oh yes.
I hated that. But those are some of the stories as far as them teaching us how to drive. And they really did. I want to say that was one of the pluses for a family member versus going to Sears.
Exactly.
You know, there was a lot more care involved because that's your child that you're teaching how to drive. And you weren't just a number, if you will, with some more kids in the back seat laughing.
Exactly.
Because we should have laughed. When he was teaching my two older sisters, oh my God. But it's nothing like learning your car stuff from your dad.
Yes, definitely.
And I tell my dad all the time. I use stories like I do now. Every day, if it don't come out of my mouth, my dad was a mechanic. And when I say that, a lot of times the customers, I think they feel relieved, like, okay, she knows what she's talking about. Okay, I'm gonna listen to her.
Exactly.
So yeah, I use it. Thanks, Dad. But again, learning how to drive at the times that we did, you know, just so thankful.
Yes.
So thankful for it. He taught me, like you said, making sure your tires are good, knowing when they're bad, knowing when you should not go on a long trip. Just knowing that it's okay to drive around here. And even, I remember times, girl, oh my Lord, we would have one foot on the accelerator and one foot on the brake at the light, keep from going dead. Now, who teaches their kids to do that? A mechanic. So we would be, you know, stranded or just couldn't go anywhere, stuck at home. You learn how to drive it until he could fix it. And he would fix it, and you're back on the road again. But there were so many times, I remember he would be, hush, hush, y'all be quiet, I hear something. He'd get out on the side of the road, and next thing you know, we'd make it to our destination, and he would, you know, go ahead and continue with the repair at that time. But again, just so many stories. What's another one you have?
Plus the fact you were talking about that. Plus the fact back then the way that cars were made, they had that ear.
Yeah, they had it.
If something sounded off,
Yeah.
they're gonna know it.
Yeah.
And there's other noises going on around them, but they're still gonna know it.
That's right.
Now you have to plug that thing into a computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you can do.
I'm telling you,
But-
I don't guess nothing no more. I used
no,
to.
you can't.
You
You
used to
can't.
could tell me my car is doing blah blah blah, and I could tell you exactly what it was. Now, a tapping noise is probably your injectors or something, or
Yep.
you know, the other technical terms, if you will, under the hood, right? Back in the day, it was your lifters. You know, what's that tapping noise? You're gonna throw a rod, making all that noise,
Put a
right?
little gas on that carburetor.
To get it started, right?
Get it
And
started.
even now, you better not run out of gas, though.
Oh no.
Because you can't. They used to get a hose, and they would
yes.
siphon that gas
Yes.
into that gas tank, and that was all you needed, or put it, like I said, on that carburetor. Now, it's a rocket scientist. You better not be running out of gas. And again, you can damage those other computerized parts up under your
Exactly.
hood, whether it's in
Exactly.
your injectors or your throttle bodies. And those parts are very expensive.
Exactly.
They are very expensive.
are.
So I'm just saying, you know, but the daddy stories, y'all, just learning how to drive was a big deal, man. You
It
just
was.
couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to learn how to drive.
And I wish that I had mastered driving the stick.
I did.
I wish I had.
I did.
And because the coolest thing for me, we had an old pickup truck back in the day, and my cousins and I would be in the back, and mom and dad would be in the front with the youngest of the group in the front, and going down those hills. You know, he'd put it in neutral, turn it off, and we just coast down those hills. And it was so cool.
Yeah. And again, with a stick, you like I said, you get stranded somewhere, they push you.
Yeah.
You pop start that joker, you on your
And
way.
then you're on your way.
Even if the
Exactly.
battery was bad, you can still push that joker.
Yep.
Well, until of course it wouldn't, you know, run at all. But I'm serious. Y'all see one of the shows. I'll have a couple of my sisters on here, and they'll talk. Oh my God, they got some stories on me. You hear me? Even being pregnant, doing stuff with cars. So, oh my goodness, it's so many things. But again, driving a manual transmission, and you really don't see those anymore.
You don't.
It's very rare
really don't.
that you see them come in,
really don't.
and our porters at my job, our little valets, they be like, I can't drive that. You can't. And I had a cousin, he used to race, and that's the one that really said you want to be smooth. Nobody should know that you're driving a manual transmission car.
That's
So even on the hill, I learned how to come off that clutch, go in just a little bit on the gas, just a little bit, and it's that time, and that was it. I love driving stick. I just stopped buying sticks. Well, of course they don't make them anymore.
right.
But my last car before I would have to say the last two cars have been automatic. But before that, yeah, I always had a standard transmission. Even on the ice, or I should say, well, around here it's ice, but on snow, because with a manual transmission, you didn't have to go in on your brakes. You just go in on the clutch, and it's going to decrease your speed.
Right.
So that there was less skidding going on. And they were great on gas too.
They were.
Yeah, they were a lot better
They
on
were.
gas. They
Yes.
really were. So I don't know why they started doing away with manual transmissions. I think some of your more upscale, if you will, sports cars like Vets and Corvettes and things of that nature, they still probably make those in standards, but there's a lot of automatics too. Because some of them pull in, I'm like, that's not a stick. What you doing driving a performance car, sports car, and it's an automatic? What is that? You know. But yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Well, y'all, we gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Telling people what? Bye bye.